Valve has finally heard us when we said that it was time for them to release a new Steam Deck, because today they just announced the Steam Deck OLED. And we're going to talk about it today in this episode of DeckedUP, a gaming and tech podcast. All right, welcome everyone to another episode of DeckedUP, a gaming and tech podcast. I'm your host, Mikhail Casanova, and today is going to be a very short episode because, we just literally got the announcement minutes ago as of the time of me starting this recording. But we're going to be talking about the Steam Deck OLED and why this might be something worth picking up for you, because it's definitely a mid-generation refresh, and it's interesting because this is pretty much going to be eaten into the Deck HD market. That's the the high resolution screen that was out that people could install in their own Steam Deck. So we're going to definitely talk about that and so much more in this episode. So before we do all that, if you guys are interested, make sure you sub to the channel, ding the notification bell, and consider becoming a channel member if you want to. And all that being said, let's go ahead and get into the new Steam Deck OLED. All right, so here we are. This is the Steam Deck OLED. So we're going to check it out. It says on their official Steam Deck or Valve website, it says, or official Steam website, it says, introducing Steam Deck OLED, a high dynamic range screen, a longer lasting battery, faster downloads, and much more. So yeah, let's go ahead and check it out. And then we're going to look at the pricing. So right now, they've done a price drop on the original Steam Deck, the LCD model. So 256 gig model NVMe SSD is now going to start at $399, as opposed to it starting at $549. So the Steam Deck OLED is now going to be starting at 512 is its base model for $549. And then we've got the 1TB OLED, which is going to be $649. Now, I'm assuming this is going to be, the standards. So the 64 and the 512 gig LCD models of the Steam Deck, I'm assuming those are going to be phased out completely at this point. And we're just going to have these right here, which is fine. I don't mind that personally. So we're going to go ahead and look at the specs. So it's still a 1280 by 800 screen, but at least it has HDR. So you're not getting a 1080p screen. They're basically just putting an OLED in the screen. So I guess the best comparison you can think of is think the Switch OLED, and there you go. It's if we're looking at this, so if we look at the original, the diagonal display size is 7 inches on the original LCD. On the new one, it's 7.4 inch diagonal display size. And then the 7nm APU, now we got a 6nm APU, and then Wi-Fi 6E, so you're going to get the faster download speeds. And then you've got a 50 watt hour battery life, which now you can get anywhere from 3 to 12 hours of gameplay, content dependent, whereas the other one was the 40 watt hour battery life with 2 to 8 hours of gameplay. So same power supply, except now you're going to get a 2.5 meter cable instead of 1.5 meter cable, and you still get Steam profile carrying case. So that's the main difference with the LCD model and then the OLED, or at least the base model OLED. So then when we go over to the 1TB model, everything is the same except for now you get the 1TB NVMe SSD, and then you get display. So the OLED is now going to have the premium anti-glare etched glass. So the best idea of what you can do with that is you can basically play in sunlight. And then you've got other than that, the only other difference is exclusive startup movie and exclusive virtual keyboard theme. But if you guys know, we can already modify startup movies on the Steam Deck, so that's not anything that's really crazy. So the biggest thing here is the fact that you've got Wi-Fi 6E instead of Wi-Fi 5. So if you've got, a router and, say you got 500 megs to a gig or 2 gig Wi-Fi, or internet rather, and you've got a router that can support Wi-Fi 6 6E, you're gonna get super fast downloads. That's one of the things with the original Steam Deck is sometimes it could take a long time to download stuff. So with this, you're not gonna really be running into that issue. You're gonna see a substantial jump in battery, well, not only in battery, but in download speeds, but the battery being, an additional 10 watt hours. So games, think of it like this. If you're playing Cyberpunk 2077, right? Typically on Steam Deck, if you tinker with the settings, you can get roughly an hour and a half out of that, right? So now think about this, you can probably get 2 hours off of this. So them doing this generation refresh, one, they had to do it. Let's just be completely honest. They had to do a mid-generation refresh, which is what this is in many aspects. It's not a substantial spec bump other than the screen and slightly bigger screen size and the APU slightly, and the Wi-Fi card and battery. So it's not marginal, but it's a spec bump, right? They had to do this because people want to take, regardless of every other device coming out, Legion Go, ROG Ally, the hundreds of INEO devices, people are still going to flock to the Steam Deck being the device to go to. So my thoughts are, if you want to get the OLED right now, I would try and flip your LCD as soon as possible if you want to do that. But I think this is great. So like, yeah, you're gonna get, if you're trying to play AAA titles, which again, this is still gonna be a situation where AAA games, going forward, you're gonna have to tinker to get them to run, better. If you want to get like the Golden 40, there'll be that too. But I would just say at this point, you're looking at, it's not like going from the PS4 to the PS4 Pro. Um, I would say this is I'm trying to think of a good comparison. This is literally just like going from the Switch V1, if you guys remember the 2017 model, and going to the Switch OLED, where they did a couple spec bumps and improved the battery life. That's literally what this is. So don't expect substantial, performance differences because you're not going to get that. And it says limited edition introducing Steam Deck OLED, a different colorway for the 1 TB Steam Deck. Quantities are highly limited. I don't really care about that. Okay, so then we look at some of the older models. They have permanently discounted them, so they're not completely gone. They just completely discounted them. So 64 gig is $349, 512 is $449. But at this point, if you're gonna buy that 512 model, you might as well just go ahead and pay an extra 100 and get the OLED. So, and then they dropped the price on the Steam Deck docking station, apparently. All right, so Steam Deck OLED. It says all the things you love about Steam Deck now with an OLED screen, better battery life, faster Wi-Fi, and more. So brighter colors, blacker blacks. Steam Deck's HDR OLED display is designed from the ground up for gaming with striking contrast, brilliant clarity, and a large picture. With more colors, pure blacks, and amazing motion rendition, you'll see your games in a new light. So more time to play. Steam Deck OLED, sorry, got a bit of a sore throat here. Has 30 to 50% more battery life. We fit a bigger battery into the case, and the OLED display draws less power. Add in an AMD updated, more efficient AMD APU, and you have way more time to play your favorites. So it's again, slight spec bump. Faster download. So Steam Deck OLED comes with Wi-Fi 6E, offering increased bandwidth and lower latency. This means faster downloads, up to 3 times faster, and stable online play. Yeah, definitely. The online play is going to be a lot better. So you're definitely gonna not run into as substantial drops in performance, or not drops in performance, drops in your internet connection. Like if you're playing online games that don't have the anti-cheat built into it, so you're still going to run into that unless you do the workaround Proton. Lighter and cooler. Thanks to a bigger fan and updated thermal, Steam Deck OLED runs cooler. It weighs 30 grams or about 5% lighter than the LCD model due to the screen. Okay, so I don't see any. Okay, so tech specs. Here we are. Yeah, really, it's not a big jump. Like if you have what you have now, you're fine. But if you want to get something better, I think what I would recommend this to is people who want a better battery life. Like you don't want to carry all the battery cases and all that. I would actually still recommend having a battery case with you, but like if we look at the difference in specs, it's really not that big of a jump, other than the fact, your 1.6 gigahertz right here versus 1.0 to 1.6. So baseline is going to be the 1.6 and the OLED, also slightly faster RAM. So it's not, um, again, you're not getting a very big jump in performance. Okay. So don't think, oh man, this is Steam Deck 2. No, this is a refresh. This is literally what this is. But yeah, what do you guys think about this? Like, are you considering picking one of these up? Again, I'm gonna say if you have one currently, I think you're fine unless you want a better battery. Personally, me, I would say go for something that's new, but that's just me. I'm a tech head. I like the newest and greatest stuff. Am I gonna personally pick this up? Probably not, because again, it's not that big of a jump for me personally. But if you've got an older model, I would immediately on Facebook Marketplace start selling it right now. Offer up or something, get rid of it if you want to get the newer one or you want to pay less for it. Um, because like I said, the biggest thing is the better battery life, faster Wi-Fi, and the OLED screen. You know, that to me, plus the RAM is faster, slightly. So yeah, if that's important to you and you want like generally better performance as a whole, that would be what I would go with. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the Steam Deck OLED. What about you guys? Are you considering picking this up? Are you on the fence about it, or do you find that it's literally just a spec bump and mid-generation refresh, and it's not worth you dropping 500 to 600 bones on? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comment section down below if you're looking at picking this up, or if you're not, or if you're looking at some of the alternative handhelds that are available right now, because we have plenty of options. So all that being said, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you like it, sub to the channel if you haven't already, ding the notification bell. That way we can stay up to date on the latest and greatest content, or rather you can stay up to date. And hopefully I can be not sick the next time I do this, because I'm currently sick. I've got a cold. But anyways, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Stay safe, be blessed, have aloha, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.